All right, welcome, and thank you all for joining us here tonight for another amazing Gnomon live stream event here, as we're going to explore how artists can bring cinematic effects into real-time game engines. My name is Bo Jansen. I'm the education lead here at Gnomon for the visual effects program, and I'm going to be hosting our stream here this evening. As always, I want to thank our sponsors, Dell and NVIDIA. Without their support, we wouldn't be able to bring you these amazing events like this and this content that you're about to see here. A few quick housekeeping notes before we get started. If you're looking for closed captioning, please head over to the Gnomon Facebook or YouTube channels. Don't forget to like and subscribe to those channels and follow us on social for future event announcements. We also want to let everybody know that we'll be hosting our next Gnomon Open House on Saturday, July 26th. This is a really amazing opportunity to tour this campus that we have here, meet the team like myself, and take the next step to your education in visual effects and games and whatever else you're interested in here. You can RSVP for the open house on the events page at gnomon.edu. Tonight, though, we're honored to welcome Gil Nam Choi as our guest speaker. Gil is a technical art director and effects supervisor who has worked at some of the world's top VFX studios, including Wētā Digital, ILM, Digital Domain, and DNEG. He's going to break down the artistic and technical challenges of translating blockbuster film effects into real-time environments. Using scenes from Godzilla vs. Kong, Aquaman, and more, he's going to explore what defines cinematic effects and how game artists can achieve similar results using Houdini and Unreal Engine. Now, throughout the presentation, you can drop your questions in the chat we have here, and we'll share them with Gil at the end of the talk. And following the Q&A, we'll also be randomly selecting 3 viewers who asked a question, and they will be able to have a 1-month subscription to the Gnomon Workshop as a special gift for your participation here. So we will be tagging you as a winner, and you would want to email marketing@gnomon.edu for details by claiming your prize. Again, we'll reach out to you so you'll know how to claim that. And we'll be sharing that address again later on as we're tagging those people at the end. So please engage and ask questions here. Now, without further ado, I want to please introduce our speaker for the evening, Gil Nam Choi. Hello.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
Awesome. Great to have you. Looking forward to this. Exciting.
Hey. Yeah, I'm gonna explain that as you introduced high quality effects from the film to game. This is kind of hook because it's not there yet, but we are struggling to figure that out. I'm gonna explain that what I have done so far. That's the things kind of a journey you can follow me. That it's gonna be fun.
Great. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Hey guys. I will explain that a little bit more of that. Here, today's topic is the cinematic effects to the game engine. But first, we need to explain that what is the. Just one second. What is the secret behind the realism film? How we feel that the film is high quality of effects, and now the game company, how they do that so far. And another one, I'm going to explain that little bit new techniques. It's not really new technique using the Houdini and Unreal Engine. Then I'm going to try to make that out. But still, we have to go far. We have to still remaining challenging yet to be resolved, I think. So let me introduce myself because many people ask me how you transit between the film industry to the game. So my major was the fine arts. I started with this one, and this is my high school drawing and wall painting kind of stuff. And this is my journey. I was a student here in Gnomon School almost 20 years ago. There was a Renderman course at the SETI, was a teacher. And I studied Renderman because at the time I used Maya. Naturally, I can study the Vex. Vex is part of the Houdini language. So I could learn that Houdini from there. I became an FX artist. Now I moved to the game studio. using the Unreal Engine. There's a lot of the HDA stuff I have to learn. The HDA, Python, procedural set, to even C++. These are my interested area. I'm working on it. And there's one more stuff, AI plus MCP and 3D Gaussian splitting. This is what I'm studying and also studied here. This is my credit in film industry. You may know some the movies, and there's more, but just this hour. And this is in my game industry. I have done the Call of Duty and Back 4 Blood in the game cinematic. Only I have a 2-year experience, but the visual effects industry for around 20 years something. I'm new to here in the game. And as an educator, you can see here, this is a tutorial I made in the side from the side effects Ask Me. And you can download the file. Today's session will be like a little bit of a live session will be there. You can download the file here. Later, you can follow all the tutorial here. It's all free. Then it's kind of a similar approach. I'm going to do that today as well. But it's not all approach. I can explain really quickly. But if you want to see the more in detail, you can download here and follow all the tutorial. Exactly what you want. And I'm teaching in the Technicolor Creative Studio is already gone, but I'm the one who is in charge of the effects department. And the normal school, there's also this integration course is here, workshop. This is me here. You can also watch this one if you are interested. And there's a bunch of different the online tutorial and teaching at the school as well. Always I'm teaching as a part-time lecturer because I really like to teach. And this is my demo reel, but I'm going to explain all the breakdown here and how I did and why the film effects is so much detail, so much layers are there. I will explain that later on based on this. So, yeah. What is the secret behind the high quality effects in the film? That's a really big topic here, because we have to understand that if the goal is to bring the cinematic quality into the game engine, really important to first define what cinematic quality effects really means. We'll have a look at the key element in the film visual effects achieved a scene of realism. I will investigate, analyze these things based on the film I have worked on, and as an effects supervisor, lead effects, and as an artist. First, the scale. Here, this was a shot the production the team urgently asked me to help. This was my last shot in the visual effects company. I really still remember clearly, and after this, I moved to the game company. Here, you can see the shot here. Can you see that here? What they asked me to do that here. Next shot. This is a scene like this, because this guy falling in and later is climb up. That's what's happening here, this shot. So, but this is close to the camera, and whenever the water simulation is happening, everything is, hiding his face. The problem is they put a lot of money on the character. They don't want to hide anything in front of there, but the simulation is not working like this. So I have to the fake simulation, and I have to avoid that to hiding this face. That was really difficult part. And think about the size of it. Here, let me show you something here. This is, I think this is too big. I just throw that. So initially when I do that, this is the splash is really, really big, everything. But compared to this splash to the human, maybe this is too big, as smaller than this. Still, this is not right size. So whenever we do that, this is very important to check that out, the scale, because they don't want to get this kind of the chunk of the splashes to make the all kind of things looks like spray look. That was really difficult. So can you feel that here? Everything is now, and you see that it looks like really spray, but we need to still see the size of it, scale of it. Then we can compare the scale. Is the behind there, there's building. You can see it. And another one is the Kong is really big. When this hands is coming up, coming down, then we can see here, we can feel that there's an air field, because this energy makes the water spray looks, spreading out a little bit. That's another issues. And the water is keep flowing from top to down. No, to the right side, a little bit to the center. And also, this is not really showing up, but all the water is here. Everything is water is falling down here based on this far here. So there's multiple different simulation we have done it. So initially we do the main simulation. Main simulation to make the fur is lay down. After that, another second simulation is the drop that should be here. There's a multiple different simulation I have done it. So the multiple different layers also was there, and airfield, everything is there. This is scale-wise, we have to match that. Second one is the layers. Because of the film, there's no limitation in the resolution stuff, right? In the game is different. We can present this one as the HiMax film as well. This is Aquaman. So I have done it. Here you can see all the stuff here. Let me show this guy. This sequence is I was here as a lead FX in charge of this sequence, whole this sequence, and we have a team, really nice senior FX, water senior FX team we have, and this shot is like 2 kilometers the big one, and a lot of splashes and everything. You can see how much done it. Yeah, this is a lot of stuff we put on this. It's the layering. How much layering we do that? Let me show you here. See, let's see this shot. The main ocean simulation is the front and far. Each element has a foam and spray, the mist volume. Only the ocean background. The far ocean spectrum also, that's the only ocean spectrum, but still this one has the foam spray mist volume as well. Already 8 layers in here in sequence, only for the oceans. And explode the spray, the variation, which is the, see here, let me show you this here. Let me show this guy. You see, there's a kind of explode spray here, splashes. Yeah, there's some kind of splashes is separate elements. The David, he made a kind of more than 50 version. He made that, and also propeller has a spray as well, and surface water. There you can see the water here, all the surface water there, and ripple should be different one, and heavy raindrops as well. This kind of raindrops there, ship on there, and the raindrop on the character. Character here, you see this guy tried in here. Where is it? You see when this guy is swinging, there's trail behind there. Also, Trident has some kind of a raindrop everywhere on the character as well. There's a lot of stuff. And the front rain, the far rain, and the impact splash. When this guy character on the ship, there will be the impact splash should be happening. Okay, this is only the one shot. I explained that this one more than six shots we have to do that, and this is behind that we sent these all elements to the lighting team, but they couldn't render it on time. So they asked me to render it. But the problem is when we open the file, it took 30 minutes to open that up. So almost impossible to render. We create the auto render tool without opening the Houdini file. So finally, we have done it using the techniques. And this is another sequence inside of the ships. I think it's the name of the ship. I don't remember that. Here, let me show you. What is the name of the ship? Sunken ships, I think. Here, have a look at that. This one was also I was in charge of. I was a lead FX for this sequence as well. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will explain this guy here. See, when you see this moment, the enemy is coming through, but in this space there's only gravity here, so going down. But still, when this side coming off, the close to the wall have to going back. So two kind of forces here. So when this guy is coming off and just going back to the water, that's all water simulation on that everywhere. You see here, every single area, single panel, everything is the water simulation. We have artist David Hip. This guy here. That was really this is water simulation. It always takes a lot of time. So he said that he submit the render farm and just told me, okay, this one will take 7 days. How you can show about that? He just showed that after 7 days we get the result, that this is the result what we have. So that was really surprised. So because he has an experience about this and really heavy data we dealing with. There's all the dropping waters is there, and all the water we don't see that much, but there's a floating, the bubbles is always there. So we don't see that much, but why we did that? So, yeah, that's the things. A lot of heavy details we can see it. That's the we can say this is a detail, the layers. The another one is the proceduralism. So I will show you this this setup from the Jehan. He is a really amazing lead FX. As I'm in charge of this Shazam was as a effects supervisor. There's one lead FX. This name is Jehan. He made a setup here. You can see it. You can see that this is really fun, right? As you see, this is designed the system like handle any production demands. It's really complex setup. But in this sequence, the structure move up and down, left and right, like a cubic puzzle. However, for much of the production, they are from early to the mid stage, it was only rotating just sideways. Then later in production, the director suddenly requested additional movement direction, like up and down stuff. This meant we had to update every shot in the sequence, as you see. But the procedural setup, we able to figure that out, the change of the efficiently, everything. Changing one thing, apply to the older shot. That's how the procedure is working. But you see here, this is really quick, just but it fought a lot of stuff. There's all the sparks is happening here, and ground destruction and dust and trees moving. You know that this Philadelphia is procedural city, exactly same as Philadelphia city. We bring this city and the rule we have, then break everything, assemble and detach everything. So looks like a cubic puzzle. The setup was really awesome. Everything is procedures, and one thing change it, everything. Only one change it to apply it all the shot. That was really awesome technique. Usually in the film industry, film visual effects industry, they have to prepare like this in the game as well. But this is more the efficient way to make that work. And the next, so that's why it's really hard, because the film effects element directly into the game is really, really hard. It's almost impossible, I believe. So you can see it, how this one goes. But because of the rendering is offline, takes hour to day per frame for maximum quality, right? But in the game, real time must render as a frame 16 to like a frame 60 frame per second. The data size is extremely large. High resolution caches hundreds of gigabytes, but the game must be lightweight and optimized for limited memory. Also, resolution is also unlimited. The detail possible film and IMAX. In the game, limited by texture and buffer resolution. So the controller, the manually art-directed, tweaked frame by frame, but in the game, it's dynamically player need to input this. There should be interact. So it's difficult. Performance-wise, almost none. But the strict to game in the game, strict to CPU GPU budget for stable frame rate. So I heard the multiplayer, the shooting game, they use just only 1 or 2 particles. But in the film, they use the billions of particles. Sometimes they use it. That's almost really difference. So so far, the game study in the game industry, they also try to bring the high resolution effects to the game. How they do that so far? The volume. I have worked on the Call of Duty Vanguard, the in-game cinematic. I can show you something here. Shot. I made that here. This is a really simple shot, but as you see, this is really high resolution, high res quality of the volume effects. But this one is actually the card. How this card is working? Like this. That's we render in Houdini, and there we get the some normal paths and beauty paths, emission paths, and made of like a sequence image like this, and one single image, and keep looping based on this. And we put some card on it and looping it. But the problem is this one has no interact with the lighting. So we are using the 6-point lighting. I will explain that a little bit more about it here, this guy, you see, this is kind of plain, the card, but we can see that the everything is reacted by the lighting. Okay, so what is the background of this? I will show you something in here. The new sharing the file. I'm going to open my Houdini. Ooh. I'll show you something here. Can you guys see my file here? Okay, this is the Houdini file. I put the same technique. This is this pig here. Then you see the moving like this. This is interacted by. This is nothing, right? But when you see, shoot, this is a plane. This is actual. But when you see it, you can feel that this is taking like as if there is some 3D element is there. How I did, so we render normal path, we apply to here. So I will show you something a little bit about that. This is plane here, just plane, and get the image here, texture images, and normal path here, and apply this to the normal. So actually it changed the normal, right? It tweaked the normal based on this normal path. Then we feel that there is some lighting interact. You can see this technique is in the Unreal Engine. You can tweak that based on this technique. And I will back to my presentation. And here, so now there's a lot of really good the volume, real-time volume techniques and technology. You can see it. This is, I'm just looking at this. I'm looking at this, the technique. This is Zebra AI, which is real-time volumetric data from here. Already we test this out here, like 28 gigabyte to the 0.5 gigabyte. It's extremely save the memories. Also test out the single play game is working, but the multiplayer game is not suitable for that. That's really nicely we can get the all the volumetric data from here. You know that there is embers and everything other stuff, but this one is extremely save the data. I think this one is really good. You guys can try that. This is another option for the volume. So another one is a destruction. I will show you here. For this is a part of the Call of Duty, the Vanguard. But for this shot, we use just LMB caches because we render in post. It don't need to be real time. So Unreal Engine can take that heavy data because we are using Unreal Engine as a renderer. But now, how can we bring this data into real-time play? That was questions. Yeah, the people in the game. This is Houdini, the fractured file, fractured the geometry, and we know the Houdini has a pack primitives, blade simulation, which is like a point. Okay, this point has a orientation, position, data is embedded, so we can export out the this point and geometry as well. Then can make that something like something like this. Oh, it takes so long. There's a multiple different the geometry. You can see the fractures, everything. We are using, I use this one, the Niagara particle system. So, which means bring this each element has an ID and position and bring into the Niagara system. The Niagara system can generate the particles and attach to each piece of this. It's quite light version of it, but still, if you put some more layers, a lot of layers, if you add that, then it's gonna be really, really heavy still. So another one is a vet. So I will show you the example here. This is mainly I want to explain this guy. This is Simon. He made a tutorial for the Vertex animation texture. And you can see all the stuff here. Vertex animation texture is stored the Vertex animation data in the texture, allowing the GPU to play back complex mesh deformation without CPU involvement. I will see. Instead of using skeleton mesh or morphing targets, mesh deformation data is encoded into a texture. So using the RGB channels. Then after that, in the material to update the mesh to the vertex, which means texture drive the animation. So this movement is only the one single texture can make it. This is quite cool. I'm not sure if we can use it. Really nice work. See, these are all the meshes and stuff. You can see it. This is one texture can make this kind of stuff. I will show you later how to do it. And that's a destruction is working like this, but organic meshes. Like today's presentation is like the growth mesh, like the Venom types of transformation. I'm going to present using that Vertex animation texture. So live session will be here. I will open this file again. Oh, I will show the final result first. I think that's better. Here, this guy. You see, this is growth effects, and there's a bone and the skin combine them together, some dropping waters. You see, this is the final result. We're gonna do that, and there's a more. Earlier I explained that this one has a explode and growth here, and the frozen. And another one is the burn techniques. You can see everything in this website. And here there's a result. You can see it like this, and blood cutting some. Sure, so everything is the same techniques. So, but I'm going to present this one. Let me show you here the Houdini. This is a live session. I'm going to explain that. I download the file from the Mixamo, the character is like this. It's moving. So either animation here. I use the T-pose, which is this one. The FBX file is always has a T-pose if you download from the Mixamo. In the production also, they gonna make the rest position like this, T-pose, and animated motion together. Here, then you can see it. The first thing we need to do, bring this guy here to paint that out. Here, we're gonna use a T-pose later. You are moving it. So this is a paint manually I painted it out, and this is a starting point to grow all the passes. This is the initial point, and there is a point I made that you can see the size of it a little bit bigger. You can see the point here where we start, and you see the number. Number is now is randomly generate that. Maybe you can stay with this one, but if you want to make some order properly, then you can do the sorting the number, which is from the bottom to top like this. It's up to you, from top to down, left to right. It's up to you. Then we make this one as a name chunk ID. So the plan is like this. There will be the one single line here, but the single stream is one chunk of ID. But there will be multiple. The following line will be happening here. So I will show you the example here. Prepared. For example, this guy is each point has the line here. For example, here first, this is a chunk. Each chunk ID make that this line. Okay, this is each chunk of the ID. So bone is generating from the bone. There's a single line will be generated, but only one line is not enough. So we're gonna create that the 10 of line here. Okay, so each chunk and also each prim ID will have that. So later we apply the different timing on the each primitives, which is let me show you the result first. There's a carve node will generate that from this is a 1 to 0. There's a growth attributes here. Now you see different growth time here. Then we can see, right? This is different growth time, but you may want to make the different time on each of the section as well, each of the chunk as well. So we can do here based on ID. Then there's a multiple offset. You can add that. You change this one. You can see each chunk has a different timing also, but each of the ID of the prim ID has a different timing on it, right? So then we can get there. So we make the 0 to 1 here. The same thing happening here. Growth here. This is technique what I have done just now. I showed you. Same thing is grow, different time. You see from top to down is my intent, and grows different time with that. And then we use a lasso. Everything is based on everything is working in the rest position. Then later you can apply this to animated character. Then you can see the motion like this. Right? And you can see it. So let me show some result on that. Here. This is the bone techniques here. It's gross here, right? Then I want to bring this guy's convert as a VDV file, which is this, right here. So another layer I made that like the shape together with this. Okay. Can you feel that there's a watery movement? Then there's the dropping water is here. Oh, that's more like a gross, the blood falling down. And with the shape without the ripple on the shape, on the character, it's not really fun. So I apply these ripple techniques here on the shape, which is here. That's why it feels like, looks like it's a watery shader is applied on that character. Can you feel that a little bit more? That's what the shape is moving. This is multiple different the layer of the VDB file. You can see it. Need to share my screen again. Here, this is something what I have done it. Then later we bring this guy. But this one is in the film. Actually, I use this technique in the film as well. But still, original data is too heavy. Like it's calculating here. As you see, it's almost impossible to bring this guy into the game engine. It's still calculating. Let's see. There's a more than 1 million the points we have. So we need to reduce the point. Here, this guy is a 100,000 the point, which is 10 times less, right? So here we bring this guy into the texture. That's the things we need to do. This in side effects has the tool, the Vertex animation texture. You can bring this guy. There's 4 different categories you can select that, which is the dynamic mesh fluid. Oops. There's the soft body. Soft body is if the point count doesn't change, then we can use it. But the point count is already changing, means that we need to use the dynamic mesh. This is suitable for the dynamic meshes. And when you use the rigid body, you can do it, and also particle. You can bring all this guy to make this guy to the texture. So your point data into the texture. That's the things we are going to do that using the Vertex animation texture, the plugin here. Let me explain that a little bit about Vertex animation texture. So here, then you see this guy. This is Simon already told you in the tutorial. This is a geometry, and the point number is from 0 to number. Any number here. Bottom is a frame. Is frame. So these are frame point number. These are frame number. Each point the same point here, same point number here. But this is frame number. Whenever it's moving, point 0, maybe frame 0 is here. Frame 1 is moving like this. To read like this. And another one is normal and tangent data also we can store. So we can bring it into the game engine based on this. I will share that file again. I already opened the file. Here we have our engine here. Can you see that? Still, there's a there's a lot of stuff here. Still real time. We see that one mesh is loading in Houdini, but the 3 characters here, you can still see much of the stuff here. So how this one is working? Let me show you in detail. we bring the texture data, which is one by. Let's bring the one by one here. We bring this guy first. This is a growth 3 here. There's a material. You can bring it before we bring this guy. The texture we generate the file is color and the lookup and position, rotation data. This texture we need to plug into the shader in the material. The material will drive the animation. Also here, the geometry. Geometry itself is the, you see here. Oh, I cannot show that file. But as you see, this one is more like a, fractured data, because this one is the remesh dynamic mesh data. Soft body doesn't change the point count, means that you can see the properly like a static meshes. But this one is always changing the geometry number, point number. Then you can see only like this. Then when you apply the shader, we can see as a result here. So in the material, you see it's a pretty simple here. Just only one. This is material, basic material we have, and bring the Houdini, the VAT dynamic remeshing node, and connect the normal data. As I mentioned, the normal and world position we're gonna apply to the shader, right? Here, normal, world position offset, and also there will be UV there. That's all. The soft body, the rigid body, and the particle, they have a different customized UV they need to connect. You can check the tutorial from the side effects, so you can see everything what I have done. So only 2 things, and the Vertex color you can, if you want to apply, then you can do it. That's all. And then here, oh, okay, I haven't shared that file. Okay, see, because this one is the popping. Let me share the popping material here. I will explain that a little bit more about it. Oh, sorry. I think the material is the entire screen. Oh, I think this is better. You can see everything now, right? Yeah. So this is the material we have. This is a Houdini dynamic remeshing node, and this is the material that's the world position connected to here, and no more data here. And UV, customized UV, connect them. And the another one is the this one. Oof, I think it's the entire share that file. Oh, okay. Now we can see everything. Okay, cool. So as I show you, there's a position data, the rotation data, and the lookup data. All these texture we need to plug in, and they controlled by the shader. So when you apply this shader, then you can see the kind of result here. So I split the body meshes, bone, and blood as well. That's all different the mesh I applied. And now we see here, you can see these bone stuff. Then we paint that out, same thing, but I just bring the same position from the body. So I apply this color here, this point, bring from the body and apply on the bone and get the color from there. And you can see the color here. Then you can get all the stuff. And when this guy is growing, you need to control some direction, which is here. this is based on why your eye generate that. You can make some kind of velocity from there, and also you can use from find the short path here. You don't need to be exactly, you don't need to be accurate, but you see the way of direction, so you can feel that you can make it. And here, then we can make that this kind of smoothness, and you see the frame like normal here. See that here? This kind of normal based control, you can do that. So this is a way of the direction. Which means when you do the solver, this one is going to be really quick, but this is starting position, and every frame will grow really fast. But the previous setup was the really slowly following the geometry and create some the points, but that was not really efficient. I made just only one frame from start frame to the end frame. As you see before, here there's already I made that the example, like this guy here. For example, here that I can make that using the source solver. Every frame is close to there, but I just made just one frame, last frame, start frame, and combine, and using add node based on ID, you just connect them. This is much easier, and later we control by carve node here. Right here, then we can control by this. Everything is in the same. That's why I brought this guy into the for each loop. Every single chunk of the ID, and apply this the growth attribute from here. This is much easier than you think. This is the one for the growth techniques. Here. Then let me show you other stuff as well. Same thing like so here I think, where is it? Okay, here. Let me show you other stuff as well. Here, this guy is like blending the texture. This blending texture is in Houdini is easier. Let me show you how this one is working. Like geometry here. Great. We have a what down here, and the point triangle. Generate that. You can make it like maybe CD set 1,0,0 means it's red color, right? But this is, let's say this one is red color, vector red, vector blue, which is set 1, 0, 0. So when you use it, you can blend between them, right? So here, CD, the lock, which is the red, blue, and bias. Like you can say that the here dot bias. Just what if I put 0, this one will be red. Put this one 1 and become the blue. Right? But based on this, we can put this guy as a number, like like a PT, no? Or the G-axis, like the P.G, something like that's gonna have a different result here. So as we can move the line between there. So you can use the blend technique in the character as well. So here we can use this technique onto the character. Let me show you here. There's a file, it's burning. See that this one is compiling now, preparing the setup. Then you can see how this guy is working. This is basically is compiling now. See, now you see this one here. Oh, this everything is destruction, is everything is gone. But if I burning destruction here, let me. Oops, this is not the one. Oh, I think this one. If I put this guy, okay, this is the one. I can bring it. This is tool destruction on, means turn off here. Then we can see. Sorry. It's not working properly. Now you see the destruction is there, right? Turn off, and you can see only this stuff. So based on this is a little bit the complex material we have. Oh, there's a lot of stuff is in here. I cannot explain them all. But there's an option here to, you see the if condition there. There's for example, we put that this guy as a, you can bring the color, RGB color based on RGB. So top area, burn area is, for example, the red color, and the rest of the area is blue, and in the middle section is like the green color. Then you can separate that color based on that. Here, for example, here there's a mask B, mask G. You can separate the color here from there. Then we connect them and mix them together. Then you can make it. Then you can download this file from the website to what I made it. Here you can see it, and this guy here. You can download the file and everything. You can investigate it. You can follow all the tutorial properly. Then you can see it. All right, good. So now we have a Q&A session. Then this is what I showed you guys here today, and there's a lot of technique you can involve that. You can say that. Any question about this? Then I will answer that.
Yeah, we've had a number of questions here in the chat. Haven't been as much about the specifics, but in terms of your general kind of pipeline, asking about the biggest shift in thinking, going from feature film work to real-time in games, and also has real-time rendering workflow, how has that affected you creatively and how you approach your work?
Wow, that's a really big question. I still have a question for that, because in the beginning of the I joined this company 1.5 years ago. I just really confident I can bring all the techniques from the film to the game. I can show you that, but the problem is in game, it should be interactive, and also there's a budget always have. So I just met the people who, you cannot do that. You cannot do this way because this is too heavy. Always they're asking. So that's always optimization was really big issues. This is a part of the optimization, I think. Still, this one has a problem. It's not really everything. This one can solve that. But we keep the pipeline as I showed that. This is actually exactly how the film industry is doing that. The growth technique. So everything is exactly the same, except the reduce the polygon and also create the file as a texture.
But I mean, you're using a lot of the exact same tools. It's just a matter of you have to squeeze it down into real time as opposed to you have a week to render each layer.
Yeah. So yeah, this is kind of thing. So sometime in the game FX artist, we can make the using the Photoshop and draw that and send the particle. That's all good. that's simply they doing that. But as you see, this one is a lot more detail. You can show that it's a different kind of quality. You can feel that if you put that more detail on it. Yeah.
Had a question in the chat. The most difficult yet rewarding VFX shot from your experience. I know that sometimes the things that may not look the most challenging are actually extra hard to do. So if anything particularly challenging for you in your career here.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was shot the I remember the multiple different shots and the shows. The Aquaman, we see that was really difficult because there's all the heavy water scenes. The one shot is the ship is coming off from the water with a 9 hours simulation. Each iteration we have to wait for the 9 hours. Later, what else we can do that? Just one parameter change that. Oh, if this is not good, then we run that simulation. That's almost impossible to resolve that. We just build the multi simulation kind of things using the simulation machine, sim it together. That's what we call the distribution simulation kind of things. That was still really difficult and how to open the file, and that's really difficult. But also the people who are working in the show, also they are all senior guys. They know everything, but they don't know anything. In the same thing happening there.
Yeah.
So water is really heavy. So, but I learned that a lot of things from there, and also I could do them more.
Well, that's the thing. We always tell the students, and it's true in the industry, that quality comes from iterations. The more versions you can do, the better quality each one can be. How do you address a workflow that has to be that slow, that it takes so long just to open the file and it's going to take you, multiple days before you get a full turnaround of the adjustments you just made?
Wow, that's always really difficult question for me. Yeah, that's really hard to predict. That's why the experience is very important. So someone who is going further, then they can guide you in the studio. As a students, I think the teacher in the school, they have to read them the schedule wise, and this one's supposed to be, you have to finish that on time this much. Don't going further anymore, because otherwise you're going too far. You need to going back to in the beginning. That's a waste of time. So the time range here you have to calculate it, but the students, they don't know what they don't know. That's a problem. So you have to the teacher give them the idea, the supervisor also give them the idea. So that's always important, I think.
So do you find working in real time, even though it's limiting in the data throughput, is it somehow liberating in that you're not working with those kinds of long drawn out schedules anymore with it?
No. So this is
very limiting.
Yeah, always that's happening. Oh, that's really difficult. Yeah.
Had one question early on, which I really want to bring up here, and that's acknowledging your fine art background. That's one of the big things here at Gnomon is we make sure everybody that comes through, you do have your analog art skills up to skill.
Right.
Do you want to speak about your journey from fine art into digital art like this, highly technical kind of work?
Oh yeah, that's really interesting question. See, I did a fine arts because I love to draw, painting. So I just get into the college and immediately I can feel that, oh, I can get the money from there. I need to find out some to get money. At the time, that was the revolutionary, the computer design tools invented from one of the awesome the VFX for genre is a Photoshop. So what is this? They released the Photoshop, then I used that one, and I'm painting that, and I made the singers albums. I do the part-time job from there. So that was I started computer graphic from the finance to the game so far. But the good thing about that, I saw the work in the normal school. There's a sculpting and painting. That's a really good things, because from there, the FX guys, they think that, oh, you are really technical guy, so that you don't need to do any art background or whatever. So if you do that through the programming background, you can do that really, really well. That's not really true, because basically you need to know that we need to have a really good eyes to judge that this is really good or not. But just programmer, they can make whatever they want, but they don't know what is good and bad. So that's a problem. So the background, the finance background was really helpful to going that to the technical area, because we know that, oh, I want to make that this kind of tool, or to make that this kind of look. But the software is from the computer science guys, they made it. So we need to understand some kind of little bit of scripting, not really super rocket science, techniques, just a little bit of the scripting we can understand that, then made a tool. And that's much more easier than the other guys, I think.
A few other questions we have here from the chat. Are there any particular kind of effects that you find difficult to create in games? You showed liquid things, some volumetric things, destruction, anything particularly challenging still?
Yeah, in my compared to the film, every effect is difficult from the film to the game. Destruction, almost I wanna get all the detail. Like for example, destruction need to be several layers of the element should be there, like a big chunk, small chunk, and debris, smaller debris, dot, the volumetric, mist, spray, kind of all the layer I want to put that in. Oh no, you cannot do that. Okay, you can do the flip book then far distance area, maybe using the technique I showed you, something like a fake, the normal lighting with that. But this is not your three-dimensional look. But nowadays, so far, the game industry doing that, like the flip book techniques still they are using it. But as I show you the Jibra AI VDB stuff and some Amberzen volumetric data and destruction, like the VAT techniques, the VAT techniques, they slowly bring into the game. You can see that there's a lot of details. You can see that, but there's a limitation always there. Still not resolved that kind of lighting issues, because some glitch on the VAT file as well. So still going on it. So in my opinion, everything is difficult from the exactly film quality to the game is almost impossible so far. Not quite there yet. So I think it's the title of this session is kind of fake, but still we have to figure that out. A lot of things.
A lot of game effects reminds me of having to do effects work back in the 90s when the software wasn't there to support it, and the machines were so weak, and you had to find creative ways to make all this stuff through a very limited technical pipeline. Any general advice on kind of how your creative mindset had to shift from when you had essentially all this rendering power and all this computing power? Is there kind of a creative shift in your approach to your work?
Oh yeah, that's really interesting question. The previously I've worked on, that I started this visual effects because of the Jurassic Park Jurassic Park version 1.
Mhm.
Wow, that's so amazing. How they make that? I want to do that. That's my starting point. But think about that at the time. Machine is. I think anyone has a machine in house is better than that. Better than computer. They
Yeah.
use it.
Yes.
So that how they do that. So I when I get to the ILM, so I open the file. Where is the Jurassic Park file there? So I open the file there. Also, it's kind of disappointed because they're using the nose modeling, the kind of shape like a balloon.
Mhm.
So what happened? But when you press the button, that's the displacement, the shader is working really, really well. It's like
Yeah.
still amazing, right?
Yeah.
So what they do that they don't have any proper the software to open the file. But nowadays any heavy file you can open the file. At the time there's like a Matrix movie. They're using the leaf files, the random description.
Mhm.
Open the file and put the shader with the number. So kind of we can bet what is the color? The people said that just put the number R 0.5 G 0.6 something like we kind of bet to match the color using the number.
Mhm.
That's the things happening, but the later on it's changed a lot of things, and you can see them more. But still, that's the things. That's a change. The computer power, graphic power is coming up, but still old school way is makes really good result or sometime. There's a breakdown, also make the optimization kind of in the game. Still we have to use the old school way, like a flipbook stuff, like the sprite version of the volumes. Long time ago we always use that way. So yeah, this is kind of answer that. I'm not sure, but
no, I think that's great. When all that really matters is making the final pixels look nice, and it doesn't matter how I think there could be a tendency to overthink things. And you're trying to find these beautiful, elegant solutions and use tools in creative ways to put so much through such a thin pipeline.
Yeah. So, that's the thing. Even if the computer power is really, really good nowadays, but still need to think about the optimization a lot. Those artists always need to think about it. Otherwise, you cannot finish that on time, because the industry production always asking you to make the highest quality always, but please on time.
Yes.
That's the things always happening. So need to be procedurally think procedurally and optimize, and creatively you have to think about it. Even if that's old school way, that's a lot of the tips you can find that out from there.
No, that's great. I really appreciate using kind of the old school methodologies, even with the new ones, and just trying to find these lovely creative solutions. That even these things that seem so technical are still highly creative. The planning behind it is still creative.
Yes.
That's true. Fabulous. I wanted to also flag your Gnomon Workshop videos. We've already picked the 3 attendees to have your free 1-month subscription to the workshop. So congrats to you 3. That's awesome. And while you're there, you can check out some of Gil's work. We put up in the chat, I think we did earlier, if we could throw up in the chat the link to some of his stuff. I don't know if we can get that up there. There we go. So you can check out Gil's Gnomon Workshop stuff up there. He's got some really cool things. I've checked some of those out. I really have enjoyed seeing some of those myself. And if our viewers want to follow you further on your socials, do you have any social media tags or anything that they should be following you? Or
okay, I have a LinkedIn.
Okay.
I have LinkedIn, and I'm teaching. I'm teaching at the school, and but I have a YouTube channel. All my students' demo reel is there.
Okay.
So maybe you guys can see that you can. Can I put that Tubop?
Okay.
Yeah, Tubop is the one that you guys can find out the channel.
Okay.
There's all my students there.
Okay.
So it works. So you can see that.
And you did a new workshop for Nomen Workshop just recently. I think we have a pretty cool trailer for that. If you want to go ahead and we could play that, we can check.
In this tutorial, you will learn the concept of the disintegration effects. It will be in the easiest way possible. So even beginner will be able to follow along and complete it easily. First, you will learn how to use the pyrosource spread to create spreading effects, and how this creates tearing effects inside of Volume Solver. After that, how to create volume with color, and to create the particles are affected by volume. And also you will learn simple compositing using curve and nuke. Finally, how to extend the RBD flash solver and flip solver in the same way. I hope you enjoyed this lesson.
Yeah, I actually saw that one. That was a very cool workshop. I enjoyed watching that one.
Yeah, thank you.
That was very cool. And like I say, the 3 attendees who have their 1-month subscription, you can watch that lesson and many, many more. So congrats. Thanks so much, Gil. This was really great to see, bridging this gap between the 2 different worlds of feature film and real-time effects. It was very cool to see. Thank you so much. Love to have you back for some more as you do more amazing things.
Thank you for having me here. It's a great honor to be here, because I remember that 20 years ago I learned that something from here as a student.
Yeah.
And then later, 20 years later, I became the speaker here. That's why I'm just really excited to be here.
No, it's always great. I love the sharing, coming full circle, sharing these amazing ideas and your amazing experience. So thank you so much. Thanks to all the attendees here. Thank you for joining us. And we will have this posted up on our YouTube channel once we're all done here. And quick reminder, hit up Nomen on our social media accounts, and we do have the open house coming up on July 26th, so you can RSVP for that. It'd be a great time to come check out the school, meet the team, and even get some portfolio feedback and learn more about our educational offerings. So that's gnomon.edu, gnomon.edu. You can RSVP. And thank you again, Gil. Thanks all who attended here. And we'll see you again in August at our next event. Thanks so much. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.